We'll vote today on the nominations of Stanley Woodard to serve as Associate Attorney General, Elliot Geiser to serve as Assistant Attorney General for Office of Legal Counsel, Joseph Edlode to serve as Director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, John Squires to serve as Director of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Ronald Parsons to be U.S. Attorney for South Dakota. These are highly qualified nominees, and I look forward to advancing them today. We'll also vote on S. 1829, the Stop C-SPAM Act, which will increase protections for kids online. This has long been among my highest priorities, this legislation. One of the first hearings we held this Congress was on children's safety in digital era, and for the past several years, our committee has taken multiple bipartisan steps to strengthen protections for children online. This problem has gotten worse with the advance of developing technologies, not better, and big tech companies too often drag their feet or they look the other way as children are being harmed on these platforms. That's why I'm glad that we're marking this bill today. It takes direct aim at the terrible spread of online child sexual abuse material and gives law enforcement and victims stronger tools to fight back. The bill strengthens reporting, increases accountability, and supports the victims who live with these crimes every day. It doesn't fix everything, but it's a strong step in the right directions. We've worked tirelessly to bring together a broad coalition of different stakeholders to support the bill. And the bill draws from multiple perspectives, meaningfully addresses the root causes, and I urge my colleagues to support it and look forward to moving it out of committee today. I also anticipate that we'll have future opportunities to mark up additional legislation dealing with these social networking issues. Next, I want to take a moment to address recent calls from the other side, urging the Justice Department to address threats against judges. We all share this concern and encourage the Justice Department to take every step in its power to protect judges, to prosecute threats against judges, and ensure judges' safety. Given our shared concern about judicial security, I'm disappointed that the Democratic leadership is blocking confirmation of the Director of Marshal Services and the head of the Justice Department Office of Legislative Affairs. The Marshal Service is responsible for protecting judges, and the Office of Legislative Affairs is responsible for providing Congress with information about Justice Department efforts to combat threats. My Democrat colleagues can't say they stand for judicial scrutiny, security, while blocking the confirmation of officials who have a role in judicial security. I also think we should care about the threats and violence against our brave law enforcement officers in Los Angeles. Violent rioters have attacked and assaulted federal agents. They've destroyed police cars, they've burned American flags, and they've vandalized an American city. We are, and of course, why are they doing this? It is because federal agents were enforcing the laws of our country. Democrats have been constantly warning us about the importance of following court orders, yet we learned that the violence in Los Angeles was in response to federal agents enforcing at least 4 federal search warrants. Surely, my colleagues agree that these court orders should be followed. The violence in Los Angeles is not happening in a vacuum. As I warned at our hearing for these nominees only a few weeks ago, Democrat governors and mayors are encouraging this lawlessness. Many Democrat office holders have called for defunding or even abolishing federal law enforcement agencies. They've made inflammatory attacks against these federal law enforcement agencies. The Democratic nominee for vice president called them, quote, Trump's modern day Gestapo, end of quote. The House Democratic leader recently called for revealing the identity of federal officers, comparing them to agents of the Soviet Union. These violent agitators in Los Angeles didn't emerge by happenstance. They're acting on dangerous rhetoric, which has real consequences for federal officers trying to do their job. I hope that all my friends on the Democratic side, or even in the party generally, will see the dangers of vilifying our federal law enforcement officers and will treat threats and violence against them with the same justified seriousness that they take threats against judges. Turning to another matter, since August 21, I've raised concerns about the Biden administration's failure to vet Afghan evacuees. So, on this Tuesday, the Justice Department Inspector General released a report confirming again what I've been trying to get across and the Biden administration refused to acknowledge. The report I released showed that the Biden administration let dozens of Afghan evacuees into this country who had hits on their terrorist screening database. This report is considered consistent with 2 Department of Homeland Security Inspector General reports. Those reports show major vetting failures. This data had been hidden from the public by the Biden administration. I appreciate the Trump administration working with the DOJ Department Inspector General to make it public. Before I turn over to Ranking Member Durbin for his opening statements, I'll announce that after his remarks, I'll open debate on nominees or anything anybody wants to say otherwise, and I plan to call the vote on the nominations at 10:30 when we have all members present. Senator Durbin.